Romania, a nation on the edge of Europe, found itself at the heart of a political earthquake. The presidential election, a beacon of democratic hope, was shattered by accusations of widespread fraud. At the center of the storm was Georgescu, a political outsider who surged to prominence with a message of radical change. But his victory, once celebrated by his supporters, quickly unraveled under the weight of overwhelming evidence. The numbers didn't add up. Whispers of irregularities turned into roars of outrage as investigations revealed a deeply compromised electoral process. Georgescu's campaign, despite projecting an image of frugality, was awash in unaccounted funds. Millions of dollars flowed into his coffers from unknown sources. Observers pointed to a pattern of suspicious financial transactions, hinting at a network of shadowy backers. The very foundation of a fair and transparent election had been shaken. The Romanian people, once hopeful for a brighter future, were left grappling with the reality of a stolen election. The scandal sent shockwaves through Romanian society, exposing deep-seated divisions. Protests erupted across the country, with citizens demanding accountability and justice. The legitimacy of the entire political system was called into question. The international community watched with bated breath, wondering if Romania would succumb to the forces of corruption or rise to the challenge of defending its fragile democracy. The annulment of the election was a necessary but painful step, leaving the nation in uncharted waters. The path ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear. Romania's fight for a free and fair democracy is far from over. The ghost of Georgescu's fraud will continue to haunt Romanian politics, a stark reminder of the fragility of democratic institutions and the constant need for vigilance. As the dust settled on the initial shock of the annulled election, a chilling realization began to dawn on Romania and the world. This was not just a case of domestic fraud, but a calculated attack on democracy itself. The fingerprints of a foreign power, one with a long history of meddling in its neighbors' affairs, were all over the scandal. All signs pointed east, to Moscow. Intelligence reports, declassified in the wake of the election, painted a disturbing picture of a sophisticated and well-funded disinformation campaign orchestrated by Russian operatives. Social media, once hailed as a tool for democratic empowerment, had been weaponized to manipulate public opinion and sow discord. Fake accounts, operating under the guise of ordinary Romanian citizens, flooded online platforms with pro-Georgescu propaganda and inflammatory rhetoric designed to deepen existing societal divides. The Kremlin's objective was clear: to destabilize Romania, a NATO and EU member, and undermine its pro-Western government. By installing a pro-Russian puppet regime, Moscow sought to expand its sphere of influence and weaken the Western alliance. The brazenness of the interference sent shockwaves through Western capitals, raising alarms about the vulnerability of democratic institutions to foreign manipulation. The Romanian election interference marked a dangerous escalation in Russia's hybrid warfare tactics. It was a stark reminder that the battle for democracy is being fought not just on traditional battlefields, but also in the digital realm. The international community, faced with this growing threat, was forced to confront a sobering reality. The rules of the game had changed, and defending democracy in the 21st century would require new strategies and unwavering resolve. In the digital age, elections are won and lost not just on the streets but also in the vast and ever-expanding realm of social media. The Romanian election, tainted by fraud and foreign interference, became a stark illustration of how easily these platforms can be weaponized to manipulate public opinion and undermine democratic processes. At the heart of this digital manipulation was Tik-Tok, the wildly popular video-sharing app, which played an alarming role in amplifying Georgescu's message and propelling his meteoric rise. Georgescu, a master of online populism, understood the power of TikTok's algorithm. His campaign expertly crafted short, attention-grabbing videos that resonated with the platform's young and impressionable audience. These videos, often laced with misinformation and inflammatory rhetoric, bypassed traditional media gatekeepers and spread like wildfire among unsuspecting users. While TikTok claims to be apolitical, the platform's algorithm, designed to maximize engagement, inadvertently created an echo chamber for Georgescu's divisive message. Users were bombarded with pro-Georgescu content, reinforcing their existing biases and creating a false sense of his popularity. The platform became a breeding ground for misinformation and conspiracy theories, further polarizing the electorate and undermining trust in traditional sources of information. The Romanian election exposed the dark side of social media, revealing how easily these platforms can be manipulated to spread propaganda and influence electoral outcomes. It served as a wake-up call for governments and tech companies alike, highlighting the urgent need for greater transparency, accountability, and regulation to prevent the weaponization of social media in future elections. The annulled Romanian election, marred by fraud, foreign interference, and the abuse of social media, stands as a stark warning to democracies around the world. It lays bare the fragility of democratic institutions and the constant vigilance required to safeguard them against both internal and external threats. As Romania grapples with the fallout of this electoral crisis, the path forward remains uncertain, but several key challenges and opportunities lie ahead. The immediate priority is to restore public trust in the electoral process. This will require a thorough and transparent investigation into the extent of the fraud, holding those responsible accountable, and implementing comprehensive electoral reforms to prevent similar abuses in the future. Strengthening the independence of the judiciary and media, as well as promoting media literacy among citizens, will be crucial in combating disinformation and foreign interference. On the international stage, Romania's experience underscores the urgent need for a coordinated global response to combat foreign interference in democratic processes. This includes sharing intelligence, imposing sanctions on perpetrators, and developing international norms and standards for online political advertising and content moderation. The transatlantic alliance, already strained by rising nationalism and authoritarianism, must reaffirm its commitment to defending democracy and countering malign foreign influence. The Romanian election serves as a stark reminder that democracy is not a spectator sport. It requires the active participation of informed and engaged citizens, a robust civil society, and a commitment to upholding democratic values and institutions. The fight for democracy is a never-ending battle, one that demands constant vigilance, unwavering resolve, and a willingness to adapt to the evolving challenges of the 21st century. Please subscribe to our channel for more updates on global political events.